and good evening. Welcome to Real Talk Tuesday. How you doing? My name is Matty. If you are here for the first time, come on in. I know I'm a little bit early, but guess what? We're gonna make this happen today. If you like the music, let me know in the comment. Just getting all of this correctly set up. Mm-mm-mm. So as I do this, do feel free to come along and let me know who you are and where you are watching this from. How you doing? Hello, Facebook user. Let me just see who's watching me right now. I think it's someone from the group. Probably. Let me just see. Hey, YouTube. Hi. How you doing? It's good to see you. Hello, Alex. Hey, you doing, people? Let me know if you just let me know by name because for some reason Restream doesn't let me see your names, and I'm still trying to figure out how it works. So bear with me as I'm figuring this out. I'm still a newbie. So whilst you're getting ready, let me tell you who I am and why we're here today. So my name is Masi Lisika Minsende, and I am a lifestyle motivator, speaker, and I am a video confidence and speaking coach. What I do is I help shy leaders as well as introverted leaders and overthinkers to feel authentic and speak with confidence and authenticity. And this is something that I'm truly passionate about, as I am myself an introvert. Let me just fix this seat again. So if you are an introvert and you are new to this channel, let me know in the comment. I would love to know. So today we are going to talk about how to stop being an imposter, that feeling of imposter syndrome. So I talk about this simply because on my channel, when you come on Good Morning Matty channel, if you're watching this on YouTube, I talk a lot about helping my students and my clients to be bolder and take more action on camera and also on stage. I really help them to build that confidence. The theme of this month is, being bolder. And if you're going to be bolder, you're going to have to get out of that comfort zone. And that's what I'm going to help you to do. So if you've ever felt like an imposter syndrome just before you started a speaking event or a presentation, or even delivered, yes, a presentation. Yes, sorry, presentation, but also you've delivered on camera, I'd love to know, but this is going to be great for you today. So this live stream is going to be great for you today. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about myself. Hey, going to tell you a little bit about myself, and I'm going to give you a challenge for you to try out with me during this month and see how you get on, because I totally believe that it's important for you to stay accountable to someone, and I want to be your big sister and help you to stay accountable. How about that? Yeah, how about that? If you're okay with that, let me know. Come and say, yes, Matty, I agree with that. I'm okay with that. I want to do that with you. Okay, and let me know if you can hear me as I'm speaking with my new microphone. And I just want to make sure that everybody's able to hear me. If you have any questions for me, or if you'd like to jump on the stream as a guest, do let me know, and I will definitely make sure that I allow you guys to drop in with me and let you kind of come in as a guest. Yeah. Okay. So do you want to let me know, I just want to find out from you, what is the boldest thing that you've done today? Let me know in the comment, the boldest thing that you've done today, this week, or over the weekend, the boldest thing that you have actually done. Let me know in the comments. I can see. Hey, from Texas. What is the boldest thing that you have actually done today or this week? Let me know in the comments. I'll tell you what mine is in a minute. So the boldest thing that I have done this week is I have literally started when I'm doing in the morning, when I do my meditation and my affirmations and my prayer, I am speaking that I would get more opportunities to speak, and I will be braver to actually, put myself out there so I can actually get myself into, interview situation. And so funny enough, I've had quite a lot of people come through my DMs, ask me to speak at different on different platforms. So I'm going to be on a podcast this weekend. Hello, somebody. I'm feeling really excited and bold. And I just tried Clubhouse just like what time is it now? 7:05. So I just tried Clubhouse about like 20 minutes ago. Literally, I was in Clubhouse for the first time. And guess what? Yeah. I was okay. Don't judge me. I was the negative person that was saying I will never join Clubhouse. It's not for me. Yes, I was that negative Nancy. It was me. I admit, I put my hand up, guys. It was me. It was me. So yeah, so I was that person who said, I'm not going to do it. And to tell you the truth, I'm so glad that I actually took the action to actually do it, because it's something new. It's something that I've never done before. It's something that I'm just kind of getting on. My main focus is Facebook videos and YouTube videos. So Clubhouse is something that I've never really thought of actually doing. I just kind of thought, okay, just leave it there, and like when I'm ready, I'll figure it out. So that's the boldest thing that I've done this week. And it's scary, it's nervous, and guess what? I feel like an imposter. Because that's what we're talking about today. I feel like an imposter. I'm not joking, guys. I really do feel like an imposter. I don't know about you, but I really do feel like an imposter. The Clubhouse thing is really different. So what is your thing? Tell me one thing that you've done today that has made you feel like an imposter, or that is, tell me one bold thing. Tell me one bold thing. Okay, if I don't see it, if I come back to it, there's no problem, but I will come back in a second. I'll come back in a second. Okay, so let me tell you something about the feeling of an imposter syndrome. See, when we feel like imposters, it's usually because we have never been in a situation before. It's usually when we're trying something completely new. And every time we try something completely new, we're always going to feel like imposters. Okay. We're always going to feel like, oh my goodness, I'm absolutely rubbish. That you've never done something before. It's like riding your first bike or learning to speak a language, which is what I'm going to talk about today. Moving to a different country. All these things are realistic things that make you feel like an imposter. So let me tell you a little bit about learning a different language and moving to a different country. So for those of you who don't know, I am Congolese. I was born in Congo in 1980. That's right, born in Congo in 1980. And I moved to the UK roughly about 10 and a half. Yeah, 10 and a half, right. But before I moved to the UK, I first moved to France at the age of 3. My parents were in government, or my dad used to work for the government, and they had a lot of free movement, so we traveled a lot. And so when I was a kid, I used to watch all of the American TV sitcoms. Okay, and so when I was watching them, because my first language is actually French. Okay, and English is my third language, guys. My third language. Some people ask me, okay, so Massey, you've got this funny kind of American-y accent. Like, did you go to the States or something? And I'm like, no, I've never been to the States. But you're gonna find out why. So as I was growing up, I grew up with all these American sitcoms and these, wonderful things and these amazing ideas, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them. So as you know, I was watching Starsky and Hutch, Different Worlds, no, Different Strokes, not Different Worlds, Different Strokes, and then Different Worlds, but Different Strokes, which in French was called Arnold and Willie or William, right? So I was watching them. I was so excited, and I used to sing, you know, the theme song in French. Do you want to hear it in French? No, I'm not going to sing in French now, but I'll tell you in a bit. In a bit. So I was in love with American sitcoms, and so when I was watching all these American sitcoms, I would pretend to speak English. Okay, and so I discovered Michael Jackson at one point, and Michael Jackson used to say, he used to say Shamon, right? He used to say Shamon and all these different things. And everybody knows Michael Jackson doesn't speak English. Okay. So, but as a kid, I thought that was amazing. You know, how they're learning, I'm going to speak English. And my English was more like, don't laugh, don't judge. Let me know if you've learned a second language. Let me know what that feels like. You know what that feels like when you're learning a language that's not your own and you're trying to imitate. So yes, I was pretending to speak English. I was like 7 and 8, guys. So come on, I was just like shimalamalamalam, shimalakalay. I was talking to my cousin. I was just pretending to speak English, and it was so exciting. It was in my own world. So we lived in France from an age of three to 10. 10 and a half, I came to the UK with my mother, and we followed my uncle, etc., etc. Yes, hey, mountain of inspiration. You know what that's like. Thank you, thank you. I'm not alone. So as we arrived in the UK, I was so excited to learn English. They said to me, I'm going to go to an English school, you know, and that's the most exciting thing. And then so I was telling my cousins in France, I'm going to be speaking English, guys. I'm going to be speaking English. So at home, we speak French and Lingala, which is our home, our Congolese dialect. Congo has about 200 languages. Yes, guys, 200 languages. I'm teaching you something new here. Write this down, 200 languages. So French is the language we speak at home. French, we speak Lingala, and it's kind of like a back and forth thing. Like the parents speak in Lingala, we respond in French. Sometimes we try to speak Lingala and it sounds terrible and they make fun of us, so we go back to speaking French. So that kind of thing. And as I'm in the UK now, my uncle and my mom says to me, you're going to go to English school. So I'm thinking to myself, it's like a translation school. There's going to be like a French English teacher. And I'm going to figure out, you know, soon enough that it's not. So it's me and my younger cousin, who is 2 years old younger than me. She was 6 at the time. No, what am I saying? I always think she was 6, but she wasn't. I was 10 and a half at the time. She was about 8. So my cousin Petula, oh my God, if she's watching here, she's watching, she's going to tell you, I'm putting her out there. So my cousin Petula, or Pitush, we're going to English school for the first time in England. And we arrive in school, these 2 French Congolese girls, and we don't speak a word of English. And we're like, okay, hold on, where are the English teachers? Where are the where are the teachers? Like interpretation, translation, nothing. So we arrive there in the school, and then we get separated. The worst thing ever. And you know what? I learned about bullying in English school, okay? Guys, learned about bullying in English school. Being an introvert kid and, you know, having to deal with bullying, I learned about that in English school. Yes, not a good thing. But whilst we got separated, my younger cousin was isolated and I was isolated, and we could only meet at lunchtime. And after the first class, it was hell. It was like everything was going so fast and we didn't understand, and we truly felt like we didn't belong. We, you know, all the excitement of wanting to learn this new language and feeling that we're going to make it, we're going to sound like Michael Jackson and, you know, Whitney Houston, but like we get to school and no one's helping us. So we're freaking out here. So when we get home, I talk to my uncle and I say to my uncle and my mom, but you guys sent us to school and, you know, you told us we were going to learn a new language, we're going to learn English, but we get to school and there's no French people. And my uncle says, well, that's how you learn English, which, well, in some ways, yes, but he just literally put us in the deep end. So what I want to say to you about feeling like an imposter is feeling like an imposter, you know, learning a new language or learning a new skill is learning a new skill is like learning a new language. You will feel like an imposter. And because of the pressure of not having anyone speak French or no teachers and kids bullying us, trust me, we learned to speak English quickly. First few words was the F-bombs and all the swear words you can ever imagine so that we wouldn't get bullied at school. But we learned English really, really quickly. So within a period, I think within 6 to 8 months, we were already phrasing and paraphrasing. And it was something that we had to be sinking our feet into. We had to literally dive into because we didn't have a choice. And the reason why I'm giving you this analogy of this story about learning a language and being put in the deep end is because sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes when we're learning something, when we are wanting to share our message with our audience or share our message online via video or on the stage, we don't really have a choice. We have to learn really, really quickly. And we're going to fail along the way. Like, we're going to fail a lot of times. You know, if you want to be better at what you're going to do, you're going to have to practice until you get better. Okay. So as I was saying before, just make sure you have your questions on the side, and I'm going to check in the questions to see what you're saying. So let me just see. So Alex says, hey, I'm okay with that. Fantastic. All right. So who else do we have here? Reaching out to a potential new client who I know makes a lot of money. So that's the boldest thing you've done today. Well done. Telling them that, let's see. Telling them that I can help them with financial planning. Fantastic. That's really, really, really bold. Really, really bold. Well done. Well done. Who's new here? Let's see. Anna says, well done, Matthew. You've always been consistent and so awesome with your content. Thank you so much. I am doing my best. Trust me, I'm doing my very best. This year, 2020, 2021, is all about rising there. And Mountain of Inspiration says, I can relate to your experience. Absolutely. Mountain of Inspiration is another Congolese inspirational person. You should go check him out. He's really cool. And African Fashion Guide says, what's up, African Fashion Guys? So much easier as a child for language learning. Brains like sponge. So, so true. It's very, very true. And it's so true. So I want to give you a quote today because, as I always say, Real Talk Tuesday is all about working on your mindset, your confidence, and your visibility. That's why I host Real Talk Tuesday. I really want to help you to host those, to work on those things. And when you come to my channel, I really give you the skills, and I'm trying to simplify everything, but I also trying to bring a little bit of that, you know, that sunshine, that enlightenment, that vibe, that energy that you guys all enjoy. And that's what it's all about. But I really want to give you this quote, and I want you guys to learn to reshift how you see this situation of being an imposter. So you're going to feel, as I said, you're going to feel an imposter every time you try something new. But I wrote this quote today on LinkedIn. I wrote the quote, by the way. It's really good. So the quote is, I'm going to read it. Failure is the daily medicine to get better at what you do. Failure is the daily medicine to get better at what you do. You will never get better if you don't fall face forward, if you don't fail. If you don't learn to fail and learn quickly, you're always going to stay behind. You're never going to be able to improve. You're never going to be able to reach your fullest potential. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really, really difficult. Okay. So it's really important to embrace the failures, to embrace the moment, because embracing the moment is what is going to allow you to propel you to the next thing. And you're going to feel like an imposter all along the way, but you've got to learn how to put yourself and place yourself in a situation that you're not going to stay the imposter. Does that make sense? Yeah. So a lot of people say to me, Matty, how, so as a lot of people ask me about my accent, and they ask me, how do you cope with, especially if you're a speaker of a different language and you are you're trying to present yourself in English or in a different language, because as I said before, English is my third language, not my first, not my second, but yes, it sounds like my first language. And a lot of English people have spoken to me before and have said to me, is that your third language? Third language? Are you sure? You sure, really? Yep, has actually happened. But I can also say that I'm really good at languages. I pick up languages, phonetics really, really quickly. So it's something that I really do enjoy. But I have an accent. I have I've had an accent over the years. So as I said to you before, for those of you who just joined, we traveled a lot. We traveled a lot as I was a kid. My dad was in government. We traveled. So I traveled from the age of 3, literally. I used to tell this story when people used to say to me, "Oh, how comes you travel so much? And how comes blah blah blah?" And I used to say to people, "Well, I'm my parents' favorite luggage." When I was a kid, they sent me to France to live in France with my uncles. And then later, my mom came to live with me. And then eventually we went to the UK. And then we came back to Africa. And then we moved back to the UK. And then from there, I traveled a lot myself. I've moved around a lot. I've lived in quite a lot of places. I've worked overseas because of that kind of experience. And that has actually molded and what's the best word? It has molded and created this accent that I have. So I've been to an English school. I've not been to a French school, an English school, as in the British school, and then I've been to an American school. Yes. So between the age of, what was it? So yeah, so I learned English when I was like 10 and a half to 14 and a half. I was speaking British English. And then when we moved to Congo, I went to an American school. It was called TASOC, or the American School of Kinshasa. It's still around. And when I got there, I ended up picking up an American accent. So when I came back to the UK, my accent was completely American. And what used to be really, really frustrating was having to explain to people, "Oh, are you American?" And I would say, "No, I'm not American." I mean, my accent is a bit more different now. Has more of a twang. It's more British, has a bit more of a twang, but it has changed a lot. It has evolved. But people used to ask me a lot. So because of that, I kind of toned myself down. Do you know what I mean? I started kind of wanting to be smaller, and I didn't want people to ask me so many questions, because I figured I have to explain, well, I grew up here, and then I grew up here, then I came here, then I came here, and that was really, really long. So I started to articulate more in order to bring my American accent down, and so that people would ask me questions. And I remember, because when sometimes I would talk to people and they think, "Oh, she's phony because she's got like this American accent and she's really loud." And because of that, I wanted to be smaller. Do you get what I mean? Do you understand what I mean by that? So yeah, so let's break out the box, say, "How you doing? Good vibes." I can see you guys are having conversation. Fantastic. So, in that sense, that's where my accent started to change. My accent started to evolve. My accent started to grow. But it was really difficult for me to embrace and accept that I was that third culture kid that had grown up in different countries, in different places. And now I had to get to this stage where now that I am growing and I'm going to a professional environment and I'm speaking with people and I have to tell them about myself. And now I have all these different experiences. So how do you put all of these experiences together? So one thing I want you to realize is, as we talk about the imposter syndrome, is you have to learn to embrace every single part of yourself. Okay? The only reason why you're feeling like an imposter is because you're rejecting yourself. Right now, you might be rejecting how you sound. You might be rejecting where you're from. You know, how many of you put your hand up if you've ever rejected where you're from? Put your hand up if you've ever denied where you were actually from. Put your hand up. How you doing? Just stopping by for a bit. Yes, put your hand up if you've ever pretended to be another, being from another country. I remember I pretended to be Jamaican when I was a kid. I pretended to be Jamaican because no one believed that I was Congolese. Even if when they met me, they didn't believe it. They just thought I was French. Um, they didn't think I was African. And I felt embarrassed of my Africanness. I felt embarrassed of where I was from. I definitely was that person. I rejected my identity. And that is really being an imposter. That is being the true imposter, is when you reject yourself. So I want you to realize that when you are, when you're faced with actually speaking on stage and speaking on camera, you have to really learn to embrace who you are. That is where you're from, the identity that makes you, your background, your history, your accent. Those are such important things. Even your quirkiness, your personalities, the things that make you unique. You've got to embrace those things, because when you don't embrace those things, then you are phony. You are fake, you know. So tell me, I would love to know from you. I can see, I can see you guys. Mountain of Inspiration says, everyone feels like an imposter. I love how you are dissecting this. Thank you very, very much. Yes, Mountain of Inspiration says, hands up. Break Out the Box says, so true. When growing up, how are you doing? Hey, Project Girl Boss, how's it going? What's up, girlie? And Alex from Gonzalez family says, this is great. So much truth here. It's true. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. So it is really, really important for you guys to be genuine when you are showing up on stage, because your message has to come from a place of genuineness. You cannot connect to your audience unless you're yourself, unless you are fully present. And it takes time, okay? It takes a lot of time. When I first started making videos on YouTube, all I knew was career coaching. I didn't know anything else. And I hated the way I sounded. I wanted to sound, really, really posh and really well spoken. And I didn't want to say, yo, what's up? And how you doing? And all these different things, and bring my international American craziness. I didn't want to bring that. I didn't want to bring my Africanness, because I just felt like people might reject me. And it was a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake. It was one of those things that made me realize that later on, Massey, if you continue doing this, you're going to sabotage how you connect with your audience. So I struggled in the beginning. I gave a little bit of myself, but I kind of hid the rest of myself. I kind of showed a little bit myself more, and then I hid a little bit more myself. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I want to know where you guys are from, and if you've ever lived in a multiple cultures, and what did you have to go through to in order to start feeling like you are yourself. So one thing you're going to realize is that, regardless of where you're from or where you grew up, because a lot of us are what we call third culture kid. third culture, which means that your parents were born in one culture, but they brought you to another country. So you are more of that culture of that different country than your parents' culture. You get what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you with me? Let me know you're with me. Yeah, so that's what we call the third culture kid. A lot of children of immigrants, a lot of children that were born abroad, their parents are from their strong, strong, pure, original culture of third culture kid. And it's an absolute bonus. It's a superb bonus. And you need to listen, you do not know how much it means to another girl that is Chinese with her Chinese culture to see another Chinese girl do what you're doing, or another Mexican girl, or another black girl, or another Italian white girl. It means so much. There's a connection, there's a culture there. And even when it's not the same ethnicity, but if it's the same culture, like I carry my British culture just like I carry my Congolese culture. So I can relate completely well to a British person because I'm a lot more British than than I look. I drink my cup of tea all the time. I can't live with it. So, it really has that impact. Um, yes, I can see. Real talk. Mountain of Inspiration says, born in Congo. Oh, Project Girl says, Massey, I think we all go through that when we start a YouTube, still don't feel fully myself on camera. Sometimes I'm very much an introvert. Yes, girl, totally, 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 totally. So Mountain of Inspiration says, raised in Zaire, Congo. Yes, I was also raised in Zaire. I was born in Zaire. Before he went back to Congo, I was born in Zaire. Gonna see that Facebook people says, Tumbe Neil says, it's crazy. People think I'm African, specifically Nigerian, maybe by my name. Yes, Tumbe, your name is very Nigerian. But I mean, it sounds very African anyway. Shireen Donnelly says, hello, real talk. Yes, absolutely. Real talk completely. Project Girl Boss says, let's see. I was born abroad and so was my son. And now we are in a completely different culture. Absolutely. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, but we have to realize that when we are, delivering our message and, showing up for this new audience, specifically for the invisible audience, guys, if you watch my new video about the invisible audience, I talk about it all the time. Silent audience, invisible people, how you doing? But if you're trying to connect with that invisible audience that don't see you, there are people that are watching you that will never actually maybe say anything in the comments, that will never engage with you, but that might send you a personal DM. And you have to learn to engage with those people. So yes, you have to be, you have to bring your whole self to the table. You have to be bolder. You have to bring it to the table. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it 100%. And if you feel like you're scared that other people are going to reject you, it's just a normal feeling, because that happens a lot. We all feel like people are going to reject us if we're being ourselves. Let's be real now. Let's be real. We all feel like people are going to reject us 100%. And it's not because of any other reason than our own thoughts. It's only because we have our personal thinking that determines what's going to happen. But if you're thinking that way, you've got to realize that your audience needs to hear your authentic voice. It's actually, more than anything in this day and age, it's actually more valuable than what you are, the reason why you're hiding it. Don't hide it. Okay. And as Project Girl Boss, we are always evolving. We are continuously evolving. And because we're continuously evolving, we have to learn to embrace every part as we grow. We really have to learn that. So let me know if you have a question, if you can relate to this comment. I can see you guys are relating. Remini says, peeping Toms. Not exactly peeping Toms, Remini. Not exactly peeping Toms, Remini, but we do have people who will watch your videos. So I know that a lot of you guys who are in my group, in my authentic voice group, or in my A team membership, some of you say to me, well, I'm not ready to start a video because I have zero audience and who's going to watch me? But, you know, little do you know that there are people that always watch you regardless of you showing up or not. There are people who admire you. They watch you from afar. So I don't know if you heard the term, like you've got the term of having faraway fans or secret fans or secret admirers. You have people that watch you and they're inspired by what you do and by what you say, and those people, they need your voice. They need your voice. Okay, so let me know in the comment, are there any questions that you'd like to ask me today, because this is the moment for you to jump on camera with me if you want to speak to me on anything, or if you actually want to ask me a question today. Yes, secret admirers. It's very true, secret admirers. Not kidding. Not kidding at all. Let me just put this here. Secret admirers. Yes. Yes, Remini. Secret admirers. That's what they are. So yeah, so if you have a link that I sent you today for being a guest, and if you want to jump on the video with me, feel free to do that. So let me see. Breakout the Box says, Breakout the Box says, it takes time, but we need to represent for those who are afraid of wanting a representative in media as mainstream and may not show what needs to be shown. Absolutely true. You know, Breakout the Box, Edwina, you've got it. You've really got it. Like, the importance of you showing up is so invaluable that you'd be doing a disservice to someone else. You'd be doing a disservice to someone else if you didn't. So let me know in the comment, what have you gained so far from this conversation? Let me know, what have you gained so far? What have you learned? What has been added onto you? What do you think that you'll be taking forward from now on when you go on creating your videos online, or speaking on stage, doing virtual events? What do you think you're going to do? Let me know in the comments so I can see it there. So Alex is I'm still trying to break out of my shell. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. So one question that I get asked a lot is, Matty, I have a really, really strong accent. Recently, someone that we had a one-to-one call, and we discussed how we could work together. And I remember that this person saying to me, Matty, I'm really conscious of my accent. I'm really conscious of how I sound. I'm really conscious that people might not be listening to me. And the reason why I'm really conscious is because someone, made a comment, corrected me, and that made me feel really small. So the thing you have to realize is that, your accent, wherever it's from, is going to, if you're speaking a different language and your accent is different from that original language, as long as you are articulating and you're making your point clearly, and you are making that point, everyone can actually hear and decipher what you're saying. And the message is even more powerful because you are using, the tone and the body language. And that's really the most important thing. The most important thing is not necessarily to have the right accent, because we live in the UK. All right. I specifically grew up in London, and in London, trust me, we have the most cosmopolitan city of people with different nationalities and different British accents. So I have grown up hearing Indian accent, Pakistani accent, Bangladeshi accent, Jamaican accent, Nigerian accent, Ghanaian accent, Congolese accent, pure Queen's English accents. And I've had to deal with adapting my ears to all of those accents. So trust me, when you're deciding on whether or not you should speak that language and it's not your own language, but you want to communicate in that language so that you can reach a bigger audience, don't think about that. The most important thing that you need to think about is also the fact that you're making an effort to speak in that language for your audience. Whoever wants to criticize you, that is their problem. Okay, that is their problem because they are not your audience. They are not your audience. You know, you're making an effort. You're speaking your language and their language and other people's languages. They're not making that effort. So you've got to embrace the accent. Yeah, embrace it no matter what. So I can see, let me see, I can see, let me see what you guys are saying. So Mountain of Inspiration says, I will own the fact that I was born and raised in Zaire and I will embrace my accent. 100%. You've got to embrace your accent. That's what makes you unique. There are not a lot of Congolese motivational speakers out there. I know that. I've looked for them for a long time. I haven't found them. Maybe one or two, I think, is a guy called Yves or Hervé or something like that. Boxer guy, used to be something like that. Yeah, this guy. Let me know if you remember him. Project Girl Boss says, let's see. So I've actually been looking into incorporating my bilingual because I'm Hispanic. Yes, I know you. I watched your story of how you moved. I think it's Mexico, right? But I realized that those that are not bilingual will not understand at times and still working on it. You know what, Project Girl Boss? I'm actually planning to do some of my videos in French because I kind of want to reach the Congolese and French audience as well. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work. I do some videos on, for example, on my Facebook. I do some videos on my Instagram, and sometimes I do them in French. So I've done a few videos in French and English. So that has really been an important thing, and that's actually been really, really helpful. But it's really, it could even be if you decide to do a bilingual video, it could even be a Spanish video, and then you can have like the subtitles in English, and then you can have a couple of jokes or a couple of quotes in Spanish. You know, it could be anything, or it could be something that everybody understands, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, my lovely, from Honduras. I'm so sorry. I thought I'm sorry about that. Not Mexican, from Honduras. I'm so sorry. But you guys speak Spanish, or what other language do you speak? So Shireen says people are going to hate. Yes, they are. So embrace your accent wherever it's from. I'm British and living in the US, and people love to correct me. Do you? It's true. Yeah, people will always try to correct you. People will try to make you feel bad. People will pick on your pronunciation, on your grammar. I remember when I lived in France. I think that was one of my lowest points, living in France. I loved and hated it at the same time. I'm sorry, French people. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. But yes, I really dislike living in France. French people used to correct me all the time, even though I had a great French accent. You know, I've been speaking French for all my life. My grammar's not great. I've been told that my French grammar is like a 13-year-old. Thank you very much, French people, for making me feel so confident. Thank you. But guess what? The most important thing, is that I'm speaking English and teaching you English and speaking French without an accent, and you can understand me correctly without any problems. And I'm learning the expressions. I am learning the the tonalities and the things that go with everything. I think one of the most the most hilarious things that I found about languages when I was living in France was expressions. So when I was living in France as a child, I had different type of expressions that I knew about. And when I lived in France as an adult in the 2000s, 2016 to 2018, literally the expressions were also different. So I was continuously asking people, what does that mean? And they would, my French colleagues and students would make fun of me, and they would tell me things to say, and it was bad, really bad stuff, naughty things. But it was a whole learning process. But they appreciated that I tried, and they appreciated that I would laugh at myself. So you got to laugh at yourself. You definitely got to laugh at yourself. You've got to make sure that regardless of whatever you are conscious of, it doesn't get to you. So let's see what you guys got for me. Remini says haters. Yes, Remini, there's some haters out there, but we don't care about the haters. We care about the lovers, the people who love you. We are here to service those specific people. Project Girl Boss says Spanish and English. Yes, thank you very much, Queen, and I really appreciate that. I cannot wait to hear you do a video in Spanish and English, or even mix it. Do a Spanglish, mix it up. That would be really, really fun. That would be a lot of fun. I think it would almost kind of incorporate both your Spanish side, or your Spanish speaking culture, Honduras, and then it will incorporate all the Anglophone speaking people. So that would be dope. That would be a really, really dope kind of video. So, and it will probably also open a different audience. Yeah. So, anything else that you have learned today that you'd like to add on, or that you'd like to ask me about growing up abroad and learning to really accommodate and to embrace my message and my identity? Feel free to go ahead and I will answer that. Now, I'm also checking on Facebook because I can't see all of your messages here. I'm still learning how to use Restream. I'm just making it work. Also, as I was saying before, I started Clubhouse. How many of you guys are on Clubhouse? I just started Clubhouse today. I was the hater. I was the person that was telling everybody I was not going to join Clubhouse, and I started Clubhouse today. So it was an interesting experience. It was a real interesting experience. So I'm going to end our session today. But what I want to say to you is that the first thing I want to remind you is the quote that I read today. Failure is the daily medicine to get better at what you do. I want you to repeat that. Failure is the daily medicine to get better at what you do. If you don't practice, you're not going to get better. The only way you're going to get better at showing up on camera is actually showing up, is doing it bad, is learning from your mistakes, is, saying the wrong things. Technical problems are going to happen. Last week I had plenty of technical problems. This week I came ready, prepared with my headphones, my second phone, everything. Yeah. So come prepared. Make it work, regardless of what happens, regardless of what people are saying, regardless of how, what other people are going through. Come prepared. Okay. And expect the failure. The second thing I want you to remember as well is embrace your identity. Embrace your identity. You are the most unique version of yourself right now. You are the most unique version of what your audience needs. your audience truly needs you. You really have no idea. When I was hiding and telling myself that I couldn't do talk about video confidence or growing video marketing or on YouTube because I was a tiny little YouTuber and I didn't have enough subscribers and all of these things, I was, literally shooting myself in the foot. I was really, really shooting myself in the foot. I was not allowing, myself to really grow. So I want you guys to embrace your identity, embrace your culture, add it to your message. Add the spice, bring the spice of your culture to your message. Bring the spice of where you were born, where you were brought up to your message. It is necessary. It is imperative. Yeah. I was looking for other Black female um, video girls or Black or women of color. I found Project Girl Boss over here, and I was like, "Oh my God, look at this! This is amazing!" But there was only literally two. There's only two other people, one Black lady and one Indian lady of color that I know that talk about video and live, and it inspires me, guys. It really inspires me. It truly, truly does inspire me. So you've got to remember that when you're not showing up with your true identity, undiluted, with your own accent, whatever accent it is, it could be multicultural, it could be English, Spanglish, or English American, or Congolese, Frenchy, whatever, Chinese, blah, blah, blah. I know a friend who is from Ivory Coast. She was born in India. The girl is a Black African girl that speaks Urdu, how many other Indian languages, and she speaks English and French, and she's dope. She's absolutely dope. And she owns it. She owns where she was brought up. So I want you to remember that when you are showing up, you want to get rid of that imposter syndrome. Show up as yourself. Yeah, show up as yourself, because the more you start to be yourself, the more you start to embrace yourself, the more you start to attract the right audience. Yes, you'll push some people away, and we don't care about those people. That's okay, they can go. But you're going to attract your people, you're going to attract your tribe. So I want you to do that today. I want you to think about that. I want you to remember that, every time you say to yourself, I feel like an imposter. I also want you to remember not to sabotage yourself. Your own thinking will sabotage you. Your own thinking of not being enough, not having enough people watching you. As I said before, I said in my last video, I said, if you want to engage with your audience, even if you have zero audience, you need to start showing up to an audience of one as if you're showing up to an audience of 1,000. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to pretend to do the Oprah Winfrey show with all of my teddy bears. I'm not kidding. My mom used to walk into my room and she was like, "Are you doing the Oprah Winfrey show?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." But I was. And that was my practice ground. I love that. I love pretending to be on TV. I love to pretending to be a TV host. It gave me so much life. So practice wherever you are, even if you have to practice with a teddy bear, even if you have to practice with, recording yourself, record yourself on video and watch yourself. I know it's hard. We'll talk about that in a different video. Let's see what you guys have for me here in the comments. Let's see what you have for me. Okay. So, hello, Ncan. We met when I was a young girl, and I remember of your positivity. You even teach me some English words. TKS for this. Thanks for this love. Oh my goodness. Wow. God, you have to tell me what your name is, because I can't see your name. Oh my goodness. I can't see your name, Ncan. Thank you. Look, this is one of my students. She just joined my live. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so proud. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Breakout the Boss says, embrace your identity. Indeed, we are not denying our identity. We are from Honduras, Congo, England, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Jamaica. We are embracing all of it culturally, multidimensionally. We're embracing it. This was great, Romani says. Thank you. Talk later. Bye, lovely. Project Verbos and Breakout the Box having conversation here. I see you guys. Yes, change your mindset. If you feel small, you will stay small. 100%. If you feel small, you will stay small. Project Girl Boss. I love that. I love that word. You feel small, you stay small. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hello, Nadine. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. Uh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, sister. Thank you. Nadine says, I'm loving it from Cameroon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to end today. We're going to end our real talk session today. But before we end, guys, I'm going to ask you a really big thing to do. Make sure that you, if you're watching this on YouTube, that you like and subscribe to the channel and you switch on the notification if you want to hear more about how to feel it, to be authentic and speak with confidence and authenticity, and how to be bolder. Okay. I want you guys to remember to do that. Now, for those of you, you know, as I've said before, I work with a lot of introverts and shy people. So I know that some of you might want to ask me extra questions. So I've got you. I got you. Okay. I got you. So if you want to speak to me on a one-to-one, underneath the link, either on Facebook or on YouTube, there is a one-to-one link. You can come and speak to me at any time. You can book a session. It's completely free. Come and speak to me and ask me about your, if it's career confidence or speaking anxieties to be able to speak in public. Come and talk to me. DM me. I'm going to be your sister. I'm going to be your girl. I got you. Okay. And for those of you who feel that you can do it, but you need the accountability, I have a Facebook group called The Authentic Voice. There's also a link in the comments. All you do is you need to click on the link and you can join me on the other side, and you get to see a lot more of what I do. More of an intimate side. I show up on Fridays as well, and I give technical tips on everything to do with YouTube, Facebook live videos, editing, you name it. And I know a lot of you are always asking me, you know, more tips on giving technical advice. So this is where I really show up for you on that one-to-one. So make sure you join me on the Authentic Voices group. It's a fun group. It is real. This weekend we are having a 80s quiz organized by a member of the group. And trust me, I am so grateful for you guys in the group. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, you guys, I love you. Like, listen, Authentic Voices, yeah. I love you guys. You make my day. You know, like, even last week I was feeling negative. I was feeling sad, and you cheered me up. So I will show up for you if you show the way you're showing up for me. So I really appreciate you guys. So if you guys are watching from YouTube or anywhere else, and you want to be part of this awesome family of people who encourage each other so they can learn to speak with confidence and authenticity, come and join me in the Authentic Voice as well. It is a fun group. We have a lot of laughs over there. And as I said, we're going to be doing a quiz this weekend. But what else do I have to say? What else do I have to say? Kanyanda, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But what I really want you guys to take home is the message that I've given you today. And I want you to make sure you put it into practice. Even if I don't see you again, even if you decide that you don't want to come and hang out with me again, make sure you remember that, you know, being better at what you do is going to take you to go through the failure. You know, it's going to be failure is going to be the daily medicine for you to get better at what you're doing. Okay, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this. Now, if you are a YouTuber and you want to tell me a bit more about yourself and you want to shout out, make sure you leave me in the comment who you are, the name of your organization or your YouTube channel, and why you do it. And I may give you a shout out in the next video. So as for me today, this is where I want to end it. I want to wish you guys a wonderful evening, and I want to make sure that we join here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. EST, 1 p.m. Central Time. Oh, I'm getting better at this. All right, my lovelies. Thank you so much, Nadine. Thank you so much, Breakout the Buzz. Thank you, Kenyanda. Thank you, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Stay blessed. Okay? All right, guys.